Good evening. Well, made some progress. This is day 2 of the 15 SI turbo kit. Today was really set on making sure there weren't going to be any massive hurdles. So I knocked out part by part, making sure that I had a good path forward, and then went on to something else, just in case anything that was going to really throw me for a loop, I would have maximum amount of time to work on, so I wasn't, grasping at straws at the last minute to try to get the thing up and running. So today's progress consisted of a few different things. Kind of wanted to go over a couple of them, show what I did. So this is the oil pan. So this is a 15 SI, which I can't remember the K series that's in it, but it has the bell mouth, and as opposed to the older ones with the stamped steel pan, this is aluminum. It's not a huge deal, but you do have issues with where you're going to put your drain. There's a bunch of webbing and no real smooth surfaces on the back of the pan. There were some suggestions under the webbing or over here. I decided to go right here, not in between like I was originally going to pan, so you can kind of see it right there. The thinking is that it's the exact same height as in here, but it also gives me a lot more room to work with. I have some 10A push lock fittings that I'm going to run for the oil drain. So I'm pretty happy with it, but obviously you don't really know how well or how happy you're going to be until it's either working or leaking or not working. Other than that, there's a few other things that are under the bottom of the car, so I'll show you those. So this has been my office for the past couple days. Most of my time has been, well, it's really all of it. It's all been relatively smooth. First hurdle that I really had to address was this, the sandwich plate adapter. Time will tell if that was a good choice. To start, you have to take out the webbing around the side. It doesn't allow for the plate. And then there was a significant amount of clearancing that had to go there. And I'm not 100% sure. You can actually see I had to chew into the plate and the block. Now, I mean, there's nothing, it's not crazy, right? I mean, there's a significant amount of surface area for the RTV. But I don't know. If I had to do it again, I don't think I would use the sandwich plate. I'm sure there's a place to tap either tee off of the oil pressure switch or anything else, because I don't know, it wasn't fun. And I mean, it looks okay, especially if you don't see where it's been grinded, but yeah, like I said, not a fan. Turbo install, pretty smooth so far. I just have some random, ignore the nylock nuts. Just have the hardware holding it in there to make sure that it's torqued down while I do my fabrication. The actual spot for the downpipe is good. I think we're going to have a decent amount of room. I've got to put the subframe back up for mock purposes to make sure it fits, after I get the downpipe started. But ultimately, I'm a fan of how everything's starting. Drain, obviously pretty straightforward. Come down and then loop, and I have got that push lock fitting. That should be good. We've got room for an air filter. The safety concern I have is the harness. I've heard those are problems. I think I'll put a metal shield there on top of the heat wrap that's been installed. But yeah, we are pretty close. I have to reseal the pan, install the feed, install the drain, finish the charge pipe work, and make the downpipe for tomorrow. I don't think it's going to be a hurdle, but I have to adapt it to the stock pipe so that it'll fit the exhaust. I was playing with this. That's 2.5. That's not going to work. So I'm going to have to steel this flange. Looks to be a pretty straight piece right here, so I'll chop it there, clean up the pipe, and then that way I'll have, and then yeah, just bolt the pipe up and weld some stuff in, maybe clean up this mess. But yeah, so day 2 in the books. hopefully to have it running and driving tomorrow. That would be great. So we'll see.